There's a difference between loving your country and at the same time being okay with everything that's happening.
बोलते हैं ना हिंदी में जिसका ना सर न पैर.
Have you ever felt judged because of your nationality?
For example, same thing, and it's going to be very controversial, but a lot of lives were lost.
Get this kachra out of your mind.
India is a beautiful place. I might be able to disagree with the government, not that I'm saying I
Yeah.
do.
Because you know in the end, right, ki it is going to hurt people.
I'm from Pakistan. We have one of the worst passports in the world.
You know you're talented. The world knows you're talented. We follow you because you're talented.
I think letting go of certain traditions that are backwards.
I think Bollywood movies have just changed the perspective of how Pakistan look alike. We want to grow, we want our country to grow. For the place I come from, for the religion I represent.
वो बोला जाता है ना same but different.
Do you speak about politics with your friends? So today we have another two guests from India and Pakistan. It's an independent special. We are speaking with Rihea and Hammad Mustafa. Welcome to the podcast, guys.
Hello.
Thank you, Junaid, for having me.
How are you doing?
Good and excited.
Amazing. So guys, today we have Rihea, who is a food blogger, entrepreneur and author, and Hamad Mustafa, who is an entrepreneur and podcaster just like me.
Exactly the same.
But he does intellectual talks because he have got brains. So guys, before we start the podcast, we have quick game where there will be 3 rounds in this: green, orange and red. You have to pick a number from 1 to 10.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start with you. On green, we pick a number from 1 to 10.
4.
4. Okay, what's one local food everyone should try?
Vada pav.
Vada pav.
Yes.
Okay. Pick a number once again.
7.
7. What makes you proud of where are you from?
What makes me proud from where I'm from is the diversity in cultures.
Okay.
So many different faces, so many different colors, so many different languages, and I think that's one of our strengths.
Amazing. Okay, let's go to the next round.
Okay.
Again, pick a number from 1 to 10.
7.
7. Okay, this is about the podcast once again, and whatever we are going to speak, because controversy might create problems. Okay, what responsibility do creators have when discussing sensitive topics?
More common sense. Like
I agree.
there is a thin line
Mm-hmm.
between you talking about sense
Mm-hmm.
and then talking about stuff which doesn't have any, बोलते हैं ना हिंदी में जिसका ना सर न पैर.
Okay.
But you're just talking about creating more virality.
Mm-hmm. But does that happen right now?
Happens a
Content
lot.
creators
a
karte?
lot.
Like what type of content creators do such kind of things? Do
Some-
podcasters do it?
I won't add podcasters to it because podcasters, if you're a podcaster, you know you come with such a big responsibility because you're going on a platform which is being seen by a lot more people compared to the other social media platforms, I would say.
Yeah.
But in terms of these, our kind of Instagram and everything,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people do it to be more viral, to be more followed because it's like कि अरे आप तो बोल सकते हो चीज़ों के बारे में तो मुझे लोग follow भी करेंगे तो मैं तो कुछ भी बोल सकता हूँ. But there are a little people who know the responsibility that comes with it
Yeah.
and have toned down over a period of time.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember the latent controversy?
I do.
What do you think of it?
And for some reason, I know I know and I've seen and understand कि he knows
Mm-hmm.
the responsibility he has.
Yeah.
And उसके ये बोलने से कुछ हो सकता है.
Mm-hmm.
But still they would say कि no, it's dark humor. Oh no, we're just, pulling your leg. You shouldn't take it very seriously. But you need to understand that has to be boundaries to it.
But did it come out of the situation where was he in, and just because of that maybe यहाँ पे चलेगा?
It's like यहाँ पे भी चलेगा. It's me who's saying it and people know who I am and they won't feel bad.
Right.
But it's a two-way street, right? I can take, if I know you as a person, but there is a limit to my boundary.
Yeah.
And I know you're joking, but मैं एक limit तक आपका jokes भी ले सकती हूँ, right?
Exactly.
And then people have their own days also. Let's not blame it on the boundary also.
Mm-hmm.
You have your day, I have my day. So
Yeah. But why it from my perspective, why I felt it became a big issue was because his image was in a way that he's quite intellectual and someone who speak about religious,
Yeah.
politics, society, growth and everything, and suddenly कुछ और ही बोल दिया बंदे ने.
इसी के लिए बोलते हैं ना रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, जो आपको पता है कि आप ऑलरेडी वो कंटेंट कर रहे हो, तो आप किसी को बुरा बोलने के लिए या किसी को बुरा लग जाता है, वो क्यों कर रहे हो चीज़. यू नो यू आर टैलेंटेड, द वर्ल्ड नोज यू आर टैलेंटेड, वी फॉलो यू बिकॉज यू आर टैलेंटेड एंड वी अडोर यू फॉर दैट. एंड देन सडनली आप फिर ऐसा कुछ बोल दोगे कि लोगों को बुरा लग जाएगा, तो कभी कभार वो होता है ना. एंड इट्स ओके, वी कैन से इट्स अ स्प्लिट सेकंड थिंग, मे बी ही डिडंट मीन टू इट.
8 बार हो चुका था.
तो बोलते ना कभी कभी अभी अगर मैं उसको इतना दिल से फॉलो कर रही हूँ, आई बी लाइक ओके आई कैन कीप गिविंग यू नो चांसेस जो हम लाइफ में देते रहते हैं. तो फिर बट देयर इज अ लिमिट. you're a social media, you have a social media image. People follow you for a reason.
The funny part is what Samirana told. A vegetarian can't become a non-veg guy. A non-veg can become a vegetarian. So do you have to say anything about this? The responsibility where creators have.
The uncle of Peter Parker that unfortunately passes away, he says something very interesting. He says with great power comes great responsibility.
True.
तो ये जो mic है ना, इसमें बहुत power है.
Power है.
And you need to acknowledge that when you're sitting on a platform, what are you spreading? Is it hate or is it is it love or is it peace? So yeah, I think people who do it often pass it away as like just humor, or we didn't know what we were doing. It's just supposed to be a joke, maybe just take it as a joke. I think it's an excuse. I think it's very easy to not offend people and all that. So people know what they're doing.
What I feel again, what he told is a media brand need to understand what's their voice. Is it like a serious conversation or a fun conversation? जो भी dark humor करते हो, जो भी कर तो आप, it doesn't matter. But your niche and your platform should be specific to dark humor.
Correct.
Right? तब ही people will be like, okay, इनका ये है यार, चलता है.
हाँ.
Because I was seeing one of the podcasts, I was thinking यार मैं भी ऐसा करता हूँ and it's fun to have this kind of conversation. Then later on, अगर ये चीज़ मैं करता हूँ तो it will backfire me.
True.
Right?
Because in the end, right, कि it is going to hurt people.
True.
लोगों के sentiments है, किसी का कोई value भी हो सकता है, किसी के लिए ये humor है, आपके लिए नहीं भी होगा तो.
True. Okay, Hamad, pick a number
2.
from 1 to 10. 2. Okay, what stereotype about India changed after meeting people from India?
Very interesting. What stereotype? Honestly, one thing, I've always been raised around Indians, so I never really had a stereotype, honestly speaking, that would need to be changed after meeting them.
I believe as an expat, we don't, since you were raised here, so it was quite easy to not differentiate between Indian and Pakistani, right? So what's the culture you have grown up and what's the mindset that was built in your life throughout your journey till date? How do you see Indians and Pakistani right now? Do you think we are equal, we are same?
I think we're absolutely the same. We share the same language. We share many cultures. Like it's the subcontinent. It's basically like the European Union in a way. There is a lot of diversity, but at the same time, there's so much overlap. Growing up here, I've had Indian friends, I've had Pakistani friends, and not for a second did it ever feel like, that we have borders between us. And in Dubai, everyone's hustling, everyone's just going towards their target and towards their end goal, which is success at the end of the day. So that is one thing that kind of unifies us as well. But at the same time, if you find someone who speaks the same language as you, it's an even more unifying force. So I think that's the special thing about Dubai.
Do you speak about politics with your friends?
Yeah, 100%.
What's the conversation about?
Honestly, usually the conversations are very critical about my own country. Things that are going wrong, what we should be doing. If it's like if there's a case where a person's rights have been infringed on, let's say someone like a woman has been abused in her workplace, or there's issues with minorities, that's what we mostly talk about. So it's very critical of the country. Even though we are patriotic, we do love our country, but we understand the dangers of being indulging in toxic nationalism. So we really, really keep ourselves away.
But you try to avoid those things.
Toxic nationalism, 100%. Because I think there's a difference between loving your country and at the same time being okay with everything that's happening. Because the thing is, in my opinion, मुझे अपने जो ज़मीन है ना उससे प्यार है. I love the nature, I love the people, I love everything that God has given us, right? The land. But that doesn't reflect on the government necessarily. It doesn't reflect, it doesn't necessarily mean I should also, love the institutions,
Yeah.
right? So I think patriotism is very, the essence of it is when you distinguish from institutions and like the actual land, So India is a beautiful place. It's, I might be able to like disagree with the government, not that I'm saying I
Yeah,
do,
of course.
but
We do the same.
you can be critical of your own country,
Exactly.
but it doesn't mean you hate your country.
Yeah.
It's for the betterment at the end of the day.
We might say that we have kind of differences in ideology with regards to the government body who is running the show right now, but it's not the country we hate. It's about the people who is running the show. We might not like them. That's the ideology which people are. And same goes with any leaders who is running the entire world.
Yeah.
We might have differences, but the only thing is we want to grow, we want our country to grow.
And I think a very important sign of an intellectual and progressive society is when people can freely, without fear, criticize the government or institutions, and the society is not going to expel them in a way, when they're in front of their friends or something. So I think the West is they particularly excel at this, where there's freedom.
Rhea, what do you have to say about what was your thought process since you were raised in India and you came here like 9 years back, right?
Yeah.
So what was your thought process back in India about Pakistan, and how did it change your mindset now?
So my mindset was everything and anything which we used to see on news channel, they're like these Desh Bhakt and they're too orthodox and they're too old school and everything. And I came here. One of my first few friends was a Pakistani.
Okay.
She was raised in Pakistan, came to Dubai a few years back, and वो बोला था ना same but different. But we were only same. We had different ideologies only for the political views, because like you said, right, you need to be more open-minded and more, have that thing in yourself to talk about it out loud and not be like, okay, just put it under the carpet ki chalo theek hai, it's okay, hame kya farak padta hai. But again, you're from that country is yours. Like how us Indians, we would go all out to say anything and everything, whether it is for our culture or our government or the people running the government. So that is how we actually gelled a lot. And then the same thing came in. यार तुम्हें खाना क्या पसंद है, हम हिंदी हमारी उर्दू सेम है. अच्छा मैं कराची से हूँ, मैं भी एक ज़माने में like हमारे ancestors were from Karachi. I'm a Sindhi. So my nanny had told me her stories from Sindh and everything. So I'm like, it's so same. It used to be one country. Because of, again, political issues, the country became two.
True.
Otherwise, we are all like quite same.
But does that affect when you see lots of problem in our own country, in our own country with regards to education, development, infrastructure? Does that affect you being an expat? You stay in Dubai and it doesn't affect you directly, but indirectly
it does, because you start feeling bad for your own country. It's like a place where I was raised in, right? I've done my education and everything. Now that I see it's called bare minimum, like we call it, right? Education, basic facilities that you want, be it medical, transportation, availability of stuff. But because of a few thousand people who are running, and they're the heads of those particular things to be provided to the people in India, it's not being done.
What do you have to say about it?
I think India is a very large country. Eventually, within a couple of decades, it's going to be one of the largest economies in the world. I think there's massive potential. But I do think at the same time there's a lot of issues that come with such a huge population, and the difference between, like, for example, China, which is one of the second largest economy in the world, is that they're quite homogenous in terms of culture. India is very diverse. It has various religions, various languages. It's a huge country, different landscapes, and so it becomes difficult to centralize power and to make uniform changes. There's always going to be inequality. There's always going to be maybe the South is better in some things, the North is better at other things, but there's always going to be a sort of divide, and it's going to take quite a while to, you know.
Got it. You know, a person told me that the diversity of India, which we have right now, is a blessing as well as a bad thing,
Correct.
right? It's because the size of this country geographically and the people coming from different background, different culture, and having a different mindset all together is a different thing. That's why there are lots of problems in India.
Yeah, that's true. Because what happens is, if I am in my own state, I know my kind of people and I know how to take care of them. But if everything is run by a body which doesn't belong to my city or my state, then there are clashes. They won't understand my state ideology. If I'm in the end of the south, and there's a central body sitting up in the north, and they don't understand what the south people need, there has to be clashes, be it religiously or cultural ways or for amenities, could be anything.
But you know, I think there will be some people who might not agree to what we are speaking right now, thinking
Yeah.
that India is same, Pakistan is same, everything is. It's of course it's same, and we have same love towards each other.
Yeah.
Without hatred, it's just political ideologies, narrative, and propaganda which is coming together to bring those drama and
And a lot of
diverse.
influence, I would say.
Yeah, and what do you say? Distracting us from the actual problems which are there in the society.
Correct.
Right?
I agree, yeah.
So here I feel when we are together, but anywhere we have differences as a human, because you might have different opinions on things, I might have different opinions on. Same goes with culture and the countries,
Yeah, correct.
right? So let's go to the next part of red one. Pick a number from 1 to 10.
9.
9. What's one difficult conversation you need to have between India and Pakistan with respect?
With respect, to end the boundaries and the borders,
Okay.
make it one. Like, I have not been to any of the borders which divides India and Pakistan, but if I've seen videos of this Amritsar ka border or even
Yeah.
Kashmir, it's divided by a piece of land. And there are people going on that land if it's not like covered by military or the government. It's the same. We are humans in the end.
Yes.
It is just a tag, I would call it. It's just a line. If that's gone, we are all the same.
What do you have to say, Hamad?
I think I absolutely agree. As you mentioned, you're Sindhi from your ancestry.
Yeah.
So, you know, you have certain ownership over that land as well. And you know, I don't want Pakistanis to come at me and, you know, claim that I'm saying Indians should come and claim land. But what I mean is you should be able to visit Karachi, you should be able to visit Larkana, Sindh, and explore, you know, the Indus.
Yeah.
And my Nani's family, they actually came from Amritsar in Punjab. I'm originally from Lahore. So, and my mother, I remember, she says that actually my mom's Nani, she came from Amritsar. Like the entire family picked up everything and they left on the spot.
Yeah.
And till her last day, my mom's Nani used to, you know, cry about Amritsar and her hometown. So, you know, she always wanted to go back. So a lot of people left because they had no choice. Because it was just announced and they had to leave because their family was leaving. I think places like Punjab, for example, East and West, they are the same culture inherently.
Yeah.
I think it's quite cruel that we've had to divide them. For example, same thing in, it's going to be very controversial, but Kashmir, I think these areas, these territories, it should be in a perfect world, visa free, because this is Punjab, that is Punjab, this is Kashmir, that is Kashmir. Punjab is for Punjabis, Kashmir is for Kashmiris, and you know it's all about love. Let's think about the things that make us that don't divide us, that rather than the ones that do divide us. Why can't we be like the European Union, for example? You know,
Where you can just pass by any
Yeah.
country.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, India, coming from a Pakistani, India is a beautiful country. It has so much diversity, and I would love to explore, Kolkata.
Exactly.
I would love to explore the south. I think the south
Yeah.
is exceptionally beautiful.
And for me also it's the same, because when I see, oh, do you know this is in Pakistan? And I'm like, okay, this is also
Wow.
Pakistan. Because the Pakistan that we see on news and everything is all like,
I think Bollywood movies have just changed the perspective of how Pakistan look alike,
Yeah.
right? Does that happen with Pakistani entertainment industry as well?
If it does, then I don't watch it, and neither do my friends. We were actually talking about this. I mean, with all due respect to the Indian film industry, the thing about Durandar recently, the movie that came out, I understand. It's film, so it's sensationalized. I respect that, but I think it was quite unfairly portrayed, because the place Liari that we're talking about in Karachi, it's a beautiful place. There's a lot of artists, young people from there who excel in football, who excel in rap and in painting, etc. You name it. And it's a place that had unfortunately suffered a lot of violence because of gang wars and mafias. Right now, relatively, it's much safer, but a lot of people lost their lives in that.
Yeah.
And I think it should have been conveyed with more respect. I think it shouldn't have been as sensationalized. And I think I can say this on record that if the Pakistani film industry starts producing these things, I would speak openly against it, because you are further just doing the world a disservice by spreading hate. Someone's gonna watch that film and they're gonna be like, I wanna grow up and I wanna cause damage to India or something, or vice versa. And for example, Bollywood. I think that's like we said, with this mic comes great responsibility. So I think it's very important to not go backwards. I think it's very important for our politicians, and I speak, the same on the Pakistani side. They need to grow up. They need to realize that these differences, these things can be actually very easily resolved through dialogue.
true.
That's so true. I mean, the point you mentioned, as Pakistani, if Pakistani entertainment industry have done that, you would have spoken.
Yeah,
And
of course.
every person who doesn't matter which background you come from, whatever is right, that's right, and whatever is wrong, it's wrong.
Correct. Right is
Absolutely.
right, wrong is wrong for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has a chance to speak. If things that happen in India becomes like a movie, it's going to be a lot of controversies around it.
Because movie plays an important role in everyone's life.
It creates your perspective, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know ki, okay, it is fictional and it's only for entertainment. People start taking it, oh, this could be real. Oh, acha nahi, if it's fiction, to kahin se to reference utaya hoga. It could be real types.
Because growing up in India, because of movies, I have seen like lots of people being labeled
Yeah,
for the place I come from, for the religion I represent,
correct.
everything. And it just happened because of movies. Where school teaches that? No.
No.
Your parents teach you? I don't think so. If parents have this kind of mentality, it's because of the movies.
Correct. That is so true.
True.
So again, you have to pick a number from 1 to 10.
4.
4. Have you ever felt judged because of your nationality?
100% all the time. It's very common. I mean, I'm from Pakistan. We have one of the worst passports in the world, due to various reasons. So yeah, 100%. And I think this is gonna get controversial, but I think a huge part that plays in that has to do with our own people and lack of civic sense. I think that post 9/11 there was a lot of judgment against Muslims, and that's something that you have to face as well.
Yeah.
Being an Indian, that's something that maybe a person from the UAE even has to face, like a local Emirati if they go to the US. But I think Pakistani specifically, when you see someone wearing a shalwar kameez somewhere, many nationalities have some sort of a negative connotation attached to that because of the actions that some of our own people have committed, which I will say maybe are in the minority, but at the same time, yeah. So, for example, if someone in a shalwar kameez starts littering, that due to lack of civic sense, which I acknowledge exists, if a foreigner is seeing that, they're going to associate that with that specific clothing. And of course, there are civic sense issues in India as well. But I think Indians are very, not very, but like they are considerably more conscious about their national image, and they kind of take care of that, and they promote their national image very positively. I think this is something that we lack, and that really needs to be worked on.
Were you hesitant when I invited you for the podcast,
No,
saying that
absolutely
it will be India-Pakistan conversation?
No, absolutely not. I think controversy doesn't scare me. I know for a fact that there's going to be certain people जो बहुत against होंगे इस तरह के episode के. There are some people whose minds are like very rigid. You can't really change them.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I think we should invite disagreement.
What about you? Did you have any kind of hesitation before? Chalo karte hai.
I was all into it. Like, see, in the end, the only thing you should do, having a social media platform, is
Voice
to
out.
voice out, bring more positivity, and get this kachra out of your mind.
Yeah.
Ki
I mean, speak about the reality.
it is what it is, right? I can't change anything. अब जो हो रहा है आपकी country में, हमारी country में, I am not that one कि जाके पूरे country को you can go and change. You can change the people around you in your own bubble, maybe your family and friends, but not more than that. The society, you can't make everybody happy.
True. What's that one thing you don't like about your country?
Civic sense.
What about you?
Same thing.
Same thing.
Same thing.
But is it the problem of region that people are not understanding civic sense?
नहीं, now it's becoming a thing saying कि हम कुछ भी करेंगे क्या फर्क पड़ता है. You know, this mindset used to not be so into for people. People used to be more mindful about things कि अच्छा मैं यहाँ पे वो देखता है ना स्ट्रीट पे आपको पता है कि जैसे कचरे का डब्बा राइट इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू बट स्टिल यू वुड जस्ट थ्रो इट एंड गो कि अंदर गया नहीं भी गया क्या फर्क पड़ता. इट वुड हर्ट समबडी.
Right, but it's cultural, right? Because civic sense comes through a culture of how you are. For example, Indian or a Pakistani staying in US for a long time will know what is civic sense.
नहीं, it's all about mindset.
Okay.
अब जैसे I've seen a lot of people in and around my society, 2 siblings, okay? Both are well educated, but one is like अरे क्या फ़र्क पड़ता है मैं नहीं जाऊँगा जॉब पे मैं तो घर पे बैठूँगा मैं ये करूँगा मुझे तो आ रहे पैसे. Whereas the other sibling has that kind of a sense in him कि I know what life is. I need to get married. I need to have a family. I need to have a career. I need to take care. I have a responsibility. With that, you keep your civic sense alive. But if I am at home just watching trashy TV, just watching news, going and doing like a 4-hour job because मेरा खर्चा उसमें से चल रहा है, you will not grow. You will not learn how the world is evolving. जैसे बोलते हैं ना कि you need to go see the world outside and then you will evolve yourself. आप घर में बैठ के तो evolve नहीं कर सकते.
Exactly.
पहले एक ज़माना होता था कि you didn't have these kind of facilities, medical wise और cleanliness wise. अब तो यार go green हो गया है, सस्टेनेबिलिटी आ गई है दुनिया में, इतना अवेयरनेस हो रहा है. वो तो आपको तभी मिलेगा जब आप जाओगे बाहर लोगों से मिलोगे एंड यू विल गेट इंस्पायर्ड. इफ यू आर गोइंग मोर टुवर्ड्स सस्टेनेबिलिटी, माई पेरेंट्स आर नॉट गोइंग, तो मैं तो मेरे घर वालों को देखूंगी. बट इफ आई गो मीट विथ यू, गेट इन्वॉल्व इन योर लाइफ एंड कल्चर, आई वुड लर्न कि अच्छा ये भी दुनिया में होता है.
Right. One other thing which I felt is ये जो civic sense आती है बंदा जब travel करता है they learn a lot. They respect cultures, right? So the best minds I have seen is someone who travels. And for me, number one thing I want to do once I like after achieving something, bro, I want to go solo trips to different places.
And go to offbeat places.
Yeah.
Please don't go to
Like go to villages.
Yeah.
True. I want to do the same thing.
Like countries which is not glamorized, cities that's not glamorized, because glamorized city में everyone are within them.
But हम अपनी दुनिया में खुश हैं. Okay, you come, they're very welcoming to you, but they're not introduce you to ground level from where they came from.
How about Pakistani culture on ground zero?
I think the people are very, very hospitable, especially if you're a tourist. I think especially if you're an Indian, if you go to Pakistan, if you tell them that you're from India, from what I have seen on a massive level, people are very welcoming, very hospitable, and like you just said, especially in the rural areas, people that don't have as much as like people in the cities do tend to have bigger hearts, because I guess they understand the importance of love, the importance of sharing, etc. And that's where like these communal ideas in our culture come from. So I think overall, like it's a general law of nature that people in the rural sides of the world tend to be more open and welcoming.
And sorry, I'm cutting you in between, but when I hear these kind of stories, and I've witnessed it myself, and when you compare it to the things that you see on TV, you just feel like they're
Why?
two different worlds. This is ground reality. This is what we see on television. Is this
Narratives.
entertainment or is it what? I don't know.
You are a podcaster. Have you ever felt like यार मुझे ये चीज लोगों के mindset में डालना है for a change?
जी, I think मेरे लिए सबसे important चीज़ है tolerance. This is what I talk about on a daily basis. I'm like कि मैंने ना हमारे लोगों के दिमाग brain wash करने बकायदा अंदर से ना I need to take out this disease of closed-mindedness and rigidity, and we need to throw this out. Whether it comes to religions, whether it comes to ethnicities, or whether it comes to other countries, Indians and Pakistani. I think it's a very lazy form of thinking to think that we are the best or we are superior, whether that be religiously or ethnically or in terms of our nationality. I think this is what I constantly critique my own people about in this regard, that we need to get this out as much as possible. And that's why I also mentioned that if Pakistani cinema does anything in regards to hate in terms of Bollywood, in terms of India, I would speak openly against that, like right now. And I don't care if I get cancelled or criticized. The people who are going to be criticizing me from my own country, I can openly say that those people are stupid and they're just, they have a very toxic form of nationalism.
The celebrated podcasts of anywhere across the world are used as a political tool to campaign. Like we have seen Donald Trump going on like 5 different podcasts during US elections, right? So I believe even politicians believe that how powerful this mic is.
Okay.
And they are like, chalo hamara narratives bhi hum share kar dete hain. And same goes with today. We have a narrative that is, we have to stand against truth. We have to unite people with a positive message, knowing what we have in our hearts for each other.
Correct. And I think this is the same belief I think we Indians also have, a lot Pakistanis also have.
Yeah. I mean, ये जो चीजें हो रही है पूरे मीडिया में हो रही है. Personally, I don't think that's an issue.
They're just trying to set a narrative, right? They know there is a big chunk of people who would get influenced by all this news and everything, but जब वो थोड़ा सा influence का level and power कम हो जाता है, and when they interact with people, they understand कि अरे हम तो influence हो रहे थे, शायद नहीं भी हो ऐसा, क्योंकि आपको नहीं पता है, you have not witnessed it. The new generation would not get so easily influenced till they don't go and experience it themselves.
True.
Hopefully.
Okay, so you both guys have mentioned that your ancestors come from India, Pakistan and India. What's the partition stories you got to hear when you were growing up? Let's start with you.
Well, mine, because it was from Punjab, they're not very fun, especially to talk about.
No, I think partition was never about fun. It about the emotional story of leaving a country and coming.
And I'll just say this. A lot of lives were lost. Family members, brothers, sisters, etc. They were just completely... Families were broken in terms of the fact that some children were left on the Indian side. Some of them migrated to Pakistan. And I think to this day, there are stories of like siblings in India and Pakistan who are still alive, who were separated during the partition. There's stories of, family members getting killed, dying on the way. And there's just stories of the fact that they really still are attached to the soil that they left. And they want to go back. And I think the way that it was supposed to be in a perfect world was that I'm a Pakistani. I could have gotten like maybe a visa on arrival and I could have explored Mumbai. I could have traveled across the north. I could have seen Himachal and vice versa with Indians.
I want to go to Ahmedabad.
It's actually a very livable, nice city, quite green, and I think it was a lot of British. It's actually named after a British officer. They used to go there because the weather was nice.
Yeah.
So.
I want to go Kashmir, Pakistan side.
Azad Kashmir, for what you call, right?
I mean, Kashmir overall, it's Indian side as well, Pakistani side. It's just a piece of heaven on earth. I think we can all agree on that.
Won't deny on that.
Yes.
Can't deny, no.
And like I said, this is what I think. I think that Pakistan should be open to Indians. I think the narrative should be like, "Yeah, आपके अपने घर की तरह." I'm gonna get a lot of hate on that with Pakistanis, but I don't care. You should be able to come explore, stay and explore any part of the country, and I would love to have the same thing with India as well.
Correct.
No,
What's
I
your
don't.
partition story you got to hear?
I have a couple of stories from my
Like you
time
have
was-
different people coming from Pakistan?
Yeah, so my nanny had like her sister left behind in Pakistan because she was married to somebody whose
Okay.
family didn't choose to leave. She left to come to India with her husband. And then my dad told me the story saying that my dad's mom, my dadi, she had some siblings in Pakistan. And I think they were in contact after the partition, but it took them a few years to get back into contact.
Mm-hmm.
My now husband also told me that her mom used to tell him that she still had contact with those people back in Pakistan because after, it took them a few years to get back in contact and connect, but they used to talk, not sure how many years back, but they said, yeah, we know who stays where, but we just can't go and meet them.
Mm. But I think Dubai is the place where you can come and unite
Yeah,
together.
I think, but maybe it was just age-related thing because they would obviously
of
be too
course.
old. It's all like 70 years old
Yeah.
back.
Mm-hmm.
They might be in their 20s or 30s when the partition happened, and you have your families and kids. You don't want to leave.
But what was the form of communication you guys had at that time?
I didn't have personally, not me, not my mom.
No, your
But I
family.
think they on phone calls only.
Phone calls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That too also I think occasional होगा. I don't know any names or anything, but it's just अच्छा तुझे पता है, अच्छा तू यहाँ से है, and all of that. Like हाँ ठीक है मुझे पता है कि सिंधी community है. Then when I came here, I met a few people in Karachi. Said, "Tu Sindhi hai?" I'm Sindhi. Oh, my mom is also from Sindh. I'm like, no way. She's like, okay, which community, like which area and everything. I'm like, I'm Hyderabadi. So मैं बोला मुझे ये नहीं पता है कि क्या होता है वहाँ सिंध जाके. तो she just told me कि जो तुम्हारा subcaste होगा सिंधी का, that is the same area is called. So if I'm a Hyderabadi, the society was called Hyderabad.
Mm-hmm.
If you're Larkana, so that area name is called Larkana. And I'm like, that's so cool.
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's come to the current situation of India and Pakistan. You, both as a content creator, you speak about love, you speak about food,
Yes.
and he speaks about geography specifically,
Nice.
like specialization in geography, education, development, right? So, Mustafa, let's start with you. Okay, how did you get interested in these topics?
Because these are some of the areas which our country really lacks in. Education, development is. I have this saying where I think कि ना education human right hai, the right to safety, and there's also another right. You have the right to live in a clean and visually pleasing environment as well. Aesthetics are important, so I really talk about this as well. We need to make our country beautiful. We need to make our streets beautiful. We need to develop ourselves not only from the inside but also from the exterior. From our streets. One thing that I can say is India ke andar every state has its own style in architecture. For example, Pakistan, there's also various forms of architecture. For example, हमारे जो Punjab हैं दोनों, they share very similar architecture.
Yeah.
Those buildings, I think 98% of them in both countries are in terrible condition. Okay. And if we take those buildings and we actually restore them, like I think the Indian subcontinent is more beautiful than Europe in that regard, in terms of its rich architecture, in terms of its in terms of art. For example, I was looking at this place that's local indigenous Rajasthani architecture, and I was blown away with how beautiful that was. Because we idealize Europe in terms of these standards for architecture, but then you look at what the Indian subcontinent has, and that's why I thought it's important to speak about these things, because firstly, not many people are talking about them, and secondly, I think this is really kind of the crux of our issues, that we always talk about certain priorities, but I think it's also very important that we fix ourselves visually. When we go outside, a person who sees greenery, a person who sees a nice, beautiful, local culture restored building, I think that person is going to be more productive. They're going to be a more helpful individual to society.
Got it. Amazing. What about education?
Education, I think, is one of the very important pillars. Pakistan specifically lacks in this. I think India is far ahead. We don't spend enough on education. Our spending on education is only like less than 1% of our total economy. India is close to, I think, 4% of its total economy, which is much better. I think you're a direct, forecast onto how your country's future is going to be, how bright it's going to be, can be predicted by your education. Like how your education is at this present day is going to reflect in the next 10, 20 years. And for me, I think it's very heartbreaking. It's not promising, and it's never been.
But the mindset is amazing of people who I have met from Pakistan. Is every individual who I have met in Dubai specifically, they say that I want to leave Pakistan, I want to study abroad like US, UK, Canada.
Yeah.
Like, what's the mindset? What's the culture you have for getting out of the country and going to other country for studies?
I think that's only for people who are privileged enough who can afford to leave. And a lot of people are doing that, but also, the same thing in India. You have many CEOs of various different leading companies who are Indians, but that results in brain drain as well. A lot of the very, very important talent from your country is leaving. Same thing is going on with Pakistan. And those same Pakistanis who couldn't find any opportunity in Pakistan leave, and they are, top level management executives, and they're, entrepreneurs, et cetera, abroad. So that means it's an opportunity problem. But those people who actually leave are a very small percentage who can afford. The rest of the 99% of the population is left to study in local public schools.
Yeah.
And that form of education is what I think specifically needs the most amount of work done on, and the most amount of money needs to be spent on that. The son of a mechanic who works in a shop is the child that deserves, to be on the same level as me, who's someone who's been fortunate enough to
Opportunities.
exactly. So I think that's very important, and that's something that we really, really need to make our topmost priority.
Noted. Ria, let's come to you. I want to speak about food. Yeah, so she loves food. She likes to explore places as a foodie. Are you a foodie?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, what's your favorite Indian food?
Favorite Indian food? I think the biryani that you guys have and the variations of it are amazing.
You can make anything
Yeah.
into a biryani.
No, I think that's specifically very good. Whenever I go to like an Indian restaurant, I always make sure to take the biryani. I really enjoy your variations of them.
What about Pakistani food? What do you like?
Pakistani food, I think nihari is a very Pakistani dish. That's one of my favorites, I would say. Also, if you go in the northwest, we have... So the more north you go in Pakistan, I think the same is with India. The more south, the more spicy. So in Karachi and in Sindh, there's more spices concentrated. But in the north specifically, there's less and less variations of spices, but there's more flavor.
Correct.
So for example, Pathans, how they cook is that they literally, instead of using spices, they just cook in like tomatoes and different vegetables.
Okay.
And they just infuse that flavor in, let's say, the meat or in the dish. And even though it's not spicy, but the flavor is just so rich and it's so tasty.
The aroma of the food.
And yes, absolutely. So that you don't necessarily need to, rely on spices. I think that's where, and especially some parts in the north, like for example, there's this one place in Pakistan, Hunza. People there live exceptionally long lives and exceptionally healthy lives because of the food that they have. And I think we should all look into that. They have this very, very healthy diet. And I think it's just next level stuff, even though they're living like relatively rural in communities. But they just have these sort of traditions with breakfast that are just super, super like healthy. Like what they use to cook their food in terms of like the oils, they're natural. They use a lot of milk, they use wheat, and there's like no spices whatsoever.
Amazing. Okay, can you tell me 3 restaurants in UAE which authentic Pakistani food is served?
Yes.
Amazing. That's a very good question. One would be Karachi Darbar. I'm sure you know
Yeah,
everyone's
Oh,
it's
here.
my
that's go-to
nostalgia
place.
yeah.
Yeah, that one's the OG. There's Nayab Handi, which is
Mhm.
also good.
Mm.
There's this one place called Sindh Shehbaz. Now I'll tell you guys something very interesting. Sindh Shehbaz is good because it's like Sindhi influence a lot of it.
No idea of this place. Okay.
Yeah, I think you would enjoy it a
I
lot.
would love to go. Yeah.
So it has this. The main branch serves like traditional Pakistani food.
Mhm.
It has another branch, which has like these Chinese Pakistani fusion. So
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Sindh Shehbaz, but like Chinese and Pakistani food mixed. ठीक है? Because Chinese food is very popular in Pakistan for some reason.
Acha.
So we have kind of put our own touch to it. So there's Chinese dishes in Pakistan, but they're not made the same way as they are in China. We just put our own little, style to
Spices,
it. Exactly. So I went there
And the
once,
Chinese.
and it was actually
Paco
really
Chinese.
nice. Exactly. It's so very. Do you guys in India have some sort of fusion with any other?
Our fusion. Our food has become fusion now.
No, because in India, I believe we just like you have provinces, we have states, and every state have its different
Yeah.
cuisines.
So
And in that, every states have different cuisines. In that, every city have different cuisines. So it's mix of things.
Interesting.
a lot like if all the states have their own rural areas, right? So the rural areas would still follow the ancestral style of dishes, and then as every like you step by step you go more into more city, the food taste evolves around
I
it,
see.
becomes a little more sophisticated and less spicy, more healthy, but still keeping the actual dish
see.
alive.
I see.
I think Kerala is one state who uses most coconut in
Yeah.
their food.
Andhra and Kerala.
Andhra is one of the spicy one which I ever had.
The
And
spiciest food ever.
Yeah, and Punjabi food is like with tadka masala.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like crazy.
True.
The same goes with Pakistan.
Yeah, absolutely. We have the same terminology, same exact concepts.
Yeah.
Food, I think it's just something that the subcontinent is so rich in. It's food and flavor.
Do you watch Pakistani dramas or entertainment?
I did. I've watched like a couple of things, but the one that still has left a mark in my mind is that Zindagi Gulzar Hai.
Okay.
Oh my god, that show when I watched for the first time, and I think at that time, Indian entertainment used to telecast the Pakistani dramas as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I had seen that man, Mahira, and the characters, the story, the sweetness in it, and the kind, the softness. I'm like, this is so cute.
Exactly.
It's for me. It's like watching Western drama, but in a desi style.
Mm-hmm.
But so like cute. They're so kind to each other, and this is what actually the reality is about. Not our typical Rona Dona wala saas bahu wala drama.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there is Saas Bahu wala drama, but not as much as how it is shows.
It's very intense in the Indian cinema to create that hype and keep it up with people being hooked to it. But yeah, that was the serial that like I still think about it.
One of the best relationships I feel in Pakistani dramas is father and daughter's relationship.
Yeah.
The way daughters are raised up towards education, towards life, and the way where their parents promote, especially a dad promotes his daughter to grow in life and stay independent.
Correct. I absolutely adore that, no doubt. Because still, India, the things that we keep listing on media, that women's education, girl education is still being promoted. It's not like the
But
basic.
Pakistani entertainment industry have nailed that, showing that how Pakistan wants to promote their daughters.
Correct. And we really respect that. I am sure people watching these kind of dramas would, of course, this thing would be highlighted in their mind and they would talk about it more. Especially people who have this responsibility and they can talk.
True. Okay, let's speak about your book.
Yes.
Okay. So when did you start writing?
So I started, the idea of this book came in 2019.
Okay.
Okay, and at that time I was like still struggling, trying to set up my own career and stuff. It's on the same lines. But then I was like, no, it's not the right time to write the book and know and everything. And then you have these creative blocks that you keep calling it. So I had the book brief ready. I knew who my characters are and everything. And then cut to COVID happened. You had a turn down. You slowed down and everything. So 21 was when I started writing. Took me 2 years to write. 23 end. So from 24, you start doing more edits and around it, doing more proofreading, trying to change the ending of the book, and you start like, oh nahi, ye nahi chalne wala hai, ye nahi chalega and everything. I was in that particular zone in 24. 2025, I see this post on Instagram, an ad of a publishing house that they're looking for new authors.
Yeah.
I'm like, is this the universe giving me a sign ki, now just
Publish
it. Don't go keep on reading and reading. You would feel like, okay, no, the book is not going to work or anything. I sent them my draft. They're like, okay, we are ready to publish your book.
Wow.
No second thoughts. And it's one of the leading publishing houses in India.
Wow.
And
How is it going right now?
It's going good. It's going good. It's slow, but the kind of reviews I've heard from people on a personal level and on online, it's been good. Yeah.
What's the book about?
So I call it like my own young adult, too cliche romance kind of a thing. It's too good to be true, but I still believe it happens with a lot of people. So the story revolves around a girl who moves with her family because she loves her family and she was in school. To support her parents, she moved cities in US. She meets the boy next door who is a Casanova that he thinks he is, but he's also like, within himself, he's too like a softie and he feels for people.
Green flag.
Yeah, a complete walking, running green flag, I would call him. But you're in your teenagers. You want to think about, oh, my friends would say this, are mere image ka kya hoga and everything. I don't want to settle down. If I get a girlfriend, she might get clingy and I would have to get married to her and this and that, melodrama and everything. They meet, they become friends. The guy starts falling for her. The girl has already built feelings. The guy knows. And then things turn. The girl gets the biggest life lesson that she should get, and she shouldn't be so naive about it. But it's okay. I relate to her a lot about being too naive and being too kind and empath and everything. But life teaches you a lesson.
True.
She runs from it. A lot of people run, a lot of people stay. She ran. She again learned a lesson over there. Her family taught her a lot of things. And then she's like, okay, now I know what to do. I'm ready to face the world. I think I was too young at that time to face the world. She faces the world and she wins.
Okay. I recently watched this series called Off Campus.
Oh yeah, I've seen a couple, yeah.
Yeah. Have you watched it?
No.
Okay. So Off Campus have a very different story, something like this.
Yes.
And people loved it. I don't want to share the story. But yeah, I mean, it was this kind of thing where life can be too good to be true.
Correct. No, I agree. I've read more than 50 books in this genre, okay? From a lot of like leading New York bestseller authors and everybody. And even though I think it's too good to be true, I've experienced it that too good to be true things do happen.
True.
It does happen. You might feel like, okay, no, I want to give up in life, in love, in relationship. Oh, I'm 35, I'm 40. It's because of the decisions you've made. It's not. And after this particular experience that I have had of getting married and everything, I know for a fact that things can happen if you only believe in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it's like if you believe it happens, if you don't believe, like, arey nahi hoga, nahi hoga, you can't have doubts in your life. If you keep having doubts, your belief would shake and then it would not happen. So.
You got recently married. How's the experience?
It's fun. I don't know, people, my parents are like, "Arey teri shaadi ho gayi hai, teko lagta hai teri shaadi ho gayi." I'm like, no. I'm like, this is the melodrama that I was talking about कि हमारे हिंदी सीरियलों ने बना के रखा है, अरे बेटी की शादी हो रही है, वो उसकी शादी हो गई, अब क्या करेगी, इसका नया घर. I'm like, it's all in my hands. It's in your mindset and my mindset. My life is the same.
Yeah.
I have an added responsibility, yes. But that's again a shared responsibility. My parents' mindset is going to change. Okay, I just have moved my house. I am still alive. I am still in this world.
True.
People act as like, अरे यार इसकी शादी हो गई, अब तो ये ऐसा करेगी, अभी हमें पूछेगी भी नहीं. My friend, one of my friends, she told me this, and my bhabhi also said, अभी अब तो तेरी शादी हो गई, अब तो तू ना हमें पूछेगी करेगी. मैं बोला हाँ मैं भूल ही जाती हूँ, आप बोल रहे हो ना कि अगर ऐसा चाहिए मैं कर देती हूँ. I'm okay with it. But if you keep jatawing me कि you will forget us, this and that, people bound to do that knowingly or unknowingly. But you've got married, you're having your life, enjoying it, you're managing more things. It's just follow the process, just enjoy that, I would say.
Mustafa, you're not married,
No.
right? Okay.
And do you want to believe it too good to be true?
Yeah,
Things
absolutely,
could happen.
100%. I think we need more of positive writing. I think we need more positive media, and I absolutely agree with you. I think too good to be true things tend to happen. I think,
Talking from experience.
um, like, it is important to have an aspect of realistic expectations, but I think it's also good to be. It's good to have delusional confidence sometimes as well.
Yeah,
I think
I agree to
that's
that.
also important.
Delulu.
And I would much rather read something that has this element of too good to be true in it, rather than something that is gonna ruin my day. Like with a horrible ending. With so I think we need more of that. I really appreciate that you've done that.
Thanks.
Mustafa, do you watch Pakistani dramas or anything?
Yes, now not so much, but I used to watch quite a
How
few.
did that impact your life?
I think because I grew up here, I didn't have that extended family sort of system. It was just my parents and my siblings. But through those dramas, I kind of really got to understand my culture and how dynamics work, how weddings happen, what drama really is. If I didn't have that form of media, I probably would have been ignorant.
Can I say that you have learned Pakistani culture through watching true dramas? Or
Yes,
entertainment?
they played a big role in that. Yes.
Okay, tell me what's your food recommendation? Indian places.
Indian places, there are quite a lot. So if you want to go like East Indian food, like if India is diverse, I would just go a little more into detail, foodie. East Indian style, if you want to like have nice momos and everything, there's this place called Mount Everest in Meena Bazaar. It's like a very go-to place for a lot of locals, not on socials, but yeah. Punjabi food, again, it's quite diverse. I like Punjabi dhaba. That's one. And then Amritsar comes second for me. Then for Sindhi food, you don't have like a typical dedicated place, but the place that I really like to go to have like good, tasty Sindhi food is Kailash Parbat for me, hands down. You can tell him to serve you button papdi chaat, which is actually comes from the Pakistani era of our chaat taste. But not a lot of Sindhi people know it. They would call it patani, papdi hai, everything. If you want me to talk about only Sindhi food, I can go on.
Yeah.
Then more south, if you want to go, there's this place called Calicut Paragon, which I really like. And there is one neighborhood place in my area called Panur. Hands down the best parotas they serve. And then there's a place called Vaibhav in Badabhai. Really good.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, really good Gujarati style food. For Bombay style pani puri, if you want to have, go to Elko. Elko is also in Bombay, like typical Soboish, but that's again one of my favorite places to go to. Next, one more place that I really love to go to is Govinda's, to have like pure Indian Sattvic food.
Yeah. All right, Rhea. Thank you for the recommendation.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. That was great speaking to you. Before we end this podcast, I want to give you a message with regards to our country, with regards to the kind of 75 years, more than 75 years of independence we have gone through. How is your experience and what needs to change?
See, honestly, my experience has always been good, nothing bad. Living in an expat country, you feel like, अरे ये तो media में जो दिखाते हैं, might be true. Let's not doubt that. I'm 100% sure it happens. But then the media also needs to make sure that they give this message out there, be more sensible, be more kind, and be as real as possible. Let's not just create that hatred and negativity around. Positivity, okay. Let's show people what ground reality is.
True.
And make sure that people don't fall for it, and let's be more kind. Yeah. I think it's on a humanitarian level. Humanity ke liye, I think itna to we all can make sure whether media, no media, in person, just be kind to people.
True. What do you have to say, Mustafa?
I think for the fact that we've had independence for around 75 years, I think it's very important that we be proactive and learn from our mistakes. I'm talking about the Pakistani side. I think it's important to sometimes accept that certain things are not working out and move towards fixing them rather than just going backwards. I think, however, that being said, I am proud to be from where I am, and I think I love my country. I mean, I would
Of course.
pretty much sacrifice anything for it if it was for the betterment of my country.
True.
But I do not subscribe to any ideologies of hate or division. I think that moving forward, I hope to see a Pakistan that is more inclusive, that has, that acknowledges the diversity, that respects it and loves it, that also, and hopefully that there's a door where Pakistan and India can shake hands and move towards a path of friendship. That's what I hope for.
Got it. What's an ideal Pakistan for you?
I think, again, the one word that I think an ideal Pakistan, if I were to sum it up in one word, is an inclusive Pakistan, right? No matter what ethnicity you are, no matter, there's Polish Pakistanis, like white people who were refugees in Karachi and they were actually like Pakistani citizens. There's Tamil people in Karachi, there's Bihar colony, there's like so many ethnicities. There were people from Bosnia who came to Pakistan during the conflict in Eastern Europe during that time, and some of them became Pakistani citizens. So I think Pakistan is actually the only country in Asia that has citizenship by birth. So for me, I don't care if you're like Gora or brown or whatever, what religion you are from. If you are born in this country, you're a Pakistani, and we need to be inclusive. We need to have an open mind. We need to be blind in regards to religion or skin color or tongue, whatever. I just think that is possibly one of the most important things that I would want to see in an ideal Pakistan.
On a cultural aspect.
On a cultural aspect. I think letting go of certain traditions that are backwards. I understand certain people are very conservative and they love tradition. And there are certain things like, for example, not emphasizing enough on the fact that women need to get education as well. That is something that is backwards. That is cultural. We need to let go of that.
Yeah.
Culture is amazing. Culture is great. But there are certain things that were in the past that were maybe okay in accordance to those norms during that time. But now the world is really changing. Now we need to really look at what's working in other parts of the world and adopt that. It's not even about adopting things. This is about letting go of regressive beliefs, I think. So just letting go of anything that's pulling you back, I think.
What's ideal India for you?
Ideal India, okay. I want all people to celebrate with each other, forgetting the hatred and the political agendas behind it, be it cultural festivals or anything. Let's just be with each other, because that is what actually happens in certain places. It's been taken as a space where people can create riots and everything. They should just forget about the hatred that they have in them, the wildness, I call it, and just be with each other. Be happy, like as you are inside your house. Spread that with everybody around you.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you for
Lovely
having me.
speaking to you. I mean, lots of conversation. This can go for long and long.
Yes.
But thank you guys for being here and enjoyed this
It
conversation.
was a pleasure.
Thank you, Junaid, for having us. I think we both have learned quite a lot of things about
About each other.
the country, and the ideologies I think we have. Again, same but different. So,
course.
thank you.
Thank you guys for watching till this, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Subscribe to TBH with JJ and stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you.